Howdy, howdy, everybody. How are y'all doing? It's been a while since we've seen this, isn't it? God, I can't even remember what the last time would be. I'm doing all right. It's a bit of a cold, rainy Thursday where I am. So I've just been relaxing. Hello, hello. Welcome, Snow Rabbit. Yeah, it seems winter isn't quite over yet. But that's just how it be. That's just how it be. Though rainy, like cloudy days always make me a bit tired and a bit sleepy, you know? But what can I say? We persevere anyway. Alrighty. Well. Woo! Big yawn. Do any of y'all even remember how we did Therapy Thursdays? Because I sure don't. Apparently I snapped my neck, that's how. A sham. Well, as the... yeah, what? Therapy Thursdays? What's that? I don't remember hearing about that. And hello to you too. Oh my god. You stop yawning. I hope you're having an astounding day too. 𝒮𝓊𝓷𝒾𝒷𝓒e? Is this 𝒮𝓊𝓷𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵 pizza? I would like one pizza, please. But yes. No, this is Patrick! That's such a good meme. Oh, such a good meme. Well, as the title, wherever the title will be, I suppose down there, suggests, today, in line with Women's History Month and International Women's Day on Monday, we're going to be learning about women. But yes, about women. But, wake. Slap my face. But after this is a whammon stream. Oh no, I wasn't doing it hard, just to, you know, like wake yourself up like when you pinch. First question. Oh yes, yes. I will take questions. Are they real? Unfortunately no. Much like the Bigfoot, women do not exist. They are a lie created by the government to do something. Just like pigeons. Just like pigeons aren't real. Pigeons aren't real. They're just government spies. Exactly. Ah! No, we just both thought of the same amazing joke at the same time. Our minds, our brilliance connected in that moment, and we both knew this means pigeons aren't real. But instead of just I don't know if you can hear the thickness of my textbook, just flipping up my neck again. Excuse me, snap. Instead of just flipping through my textbook and reading things that I thought that I thought were interesting or important, I thought, you know what? Let's make this interesting, right? I didn't really get any questions, so instead, we're going to experience the visceral suffering and pain that is r/not how girls work. Alright? We are going to go to this subreddit. And we are going to see what could people possibly get wrong about women. And then, instead of just laughing at how people are stupid, I will explain using science and psychology what the truth is behind these misconceptions. So we're not just going to do any memes. I've been browsing it a bit this afternoon, picking out the good ones where I can have like direct correlation of things to talk about. Vagana and Bobs. Vegans, I think, so what? I'm gonna assume that was a 𝒮𝓶𝒗𝒃𝓃𝒃. Because my mother just called me. I think so. Because why would she call my cell phone? So, are the universes aligning to stop me from explaining the secrets? The secret organization of women does not want me to reveal the truth. But I think we're good. She hung up, like, she called and then hung up immediately, so I'm thinking she thought it was she didn't mean to do. Alright. You can't handle the truth. Okay. No, you're all beautiful, smart creatures. If this text would just send. Please. So that my mom does not call me again. Your brilliance is beautiful. I'm just gonna... Hi, 𝒮𝓊𝒷𝓈𝒸𝓇𝒾𝒷𝑒. I am live. I'm alive and I am live. I am doing a thing that I used to do. I don't know if you, I think you may have joined after I went on a god knows how long break from doing Therapy Thursdays. But yes, I used to do Therapy Thursdays at this time. Like at the same time that I do like Harvest Moon and stuff. Oh my god. It's fine. No, it's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, I meant Welkin. Why did I said 𝒮𝓊𝒷𝓈? The stupid is spreading. I actually did get enough sleep. I feel like... Well, maybe... I mean, I at least got 7 hours of sleep. Which is more than enough. Okay. My mom says she'll talk to me later, so that has been handled. Oh, Jimmy still hasn't gone off. Jimmy, you fucking slacker. Alright, Weeby, if he doesn't go off in the next 5 minutes, I'm gonna need you to manually do it, alright? Jimmy's been good occasionally. Jimmy's been a bit faster. But not fast enough, I suppose. Alright. Well, if y'all don't have any specific questions that you want me to answer, we can get into the cringe. Jimmy is pretty untrustworthy. I'm gonna just scoot my boot over on here next to y'all. Hello. You know nothing. Absolutely nothing. Women are just this mysterious creatures. Alright. Let's see. Do I have something lighthearted we can start off with? Nope, everything is a bit cringe. They be like unicorns? Some people do think that. Alright. Well, what I think the most important topic that people often complain about is that it feels like, oh my god, wake up. Men and women, you can't see my hands. I don't know why I'm doing hand gestures. That it feels like men and women speak two different languages. And that's not really true. Men and women speak the same language, they just... Okay, how do I go about explaining this as nicely as possible? Textbook, help me. Alright, so men often complain that it's very hard to understand women. Not because their neck is constantly breaking, but that it feels like they speak two different languages. That women never, say what they want. Or that the way that they express and communicate are too different. Men and women can't communicate with each other. It's impossible. You're asking me to speak Chinese to understand men? Or something like that. Now, is that the same for women too? That we can't understand each other? The idea is often that men can't understand women. But women can understand women. And usually can't understand men. It's just that we women are just too gosh darn complicated. Why we gotta make everything so difficult? Understanding, the nuances of what someone is trying to say can be difficult if you don't know them well, or don't share similar experiences. But
yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
It's going to be very loud. I apologize. I haven't used this layout in so long. I didn't make the The volume changes. Sorry, guys. God, it's been forever since I used this. I'm sorry for everyone whose ears I just broke. Yes, that was my jump scare. No, but I do apologize. Yes, back to the topic. So, I know, I'm sorry for your ears. May they rest in peace. Alright, so there are some people who have proposed that basically, that the communication differences between men and women are just so large, so gigantic, that it's basically as if they came from different cultures. And that's why it's so difficult for oh, Jimmy went off? Great, awesome. Now we don't have to punish him. But the most recognized idea for the differences in the way that the two genders speak is that the differences stem from the gender roles and related to the social norms and power that that each of these genders have. So men and women don't speak differently because they are like born different, because they're genetically hardwired differently, but because of how they are raised. So if that makes sense, instead of nature versus nurture, so on a clean slate, men and women would speak exactly the same. But because of how men are raised in society and how women are raised in society, they develop basically two different linguistical styles of speaking. And that's what makes it so difficult for the two genders to communicate, is because each one is taught and raised to speak differently. So what is often said is that men use more assertive speech and assertive actions, where women use more tentative speech, because they lack power in the social hierarchy. Now, a lot of... Oh, Daiki! Evie, be quiet. I don't have you set up. Cancel. Look, I don't have my other computer on, so my cancel counter doesn't exist. I'm sorry, wait, what? Daiki! 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 Holy shit! Thank you. Thank you so much! You absolute mad lad! Thank you! Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you. Now y'all are messing up my communication style with your kindness. Okay. I can do this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to dissect how women speak. Are y'all ready? Are you ready to learn the secrets of women communication? So, women are more likely to use tentative speech. But what does that even fucking mean? That means that they often have 4 patterns in the way that they speak. Expressions of uncertainty, hedges, tag questions, and intensifiers. Y'all are too nice. Y'all. So the first thing that women often use in their speech, you may have noticed. I'm dying. Holy shit, 𝒮𝓗𝒄𝒄! What are you doing? What? What are you doing? Thank you so much. I haven't even unearthed the secrets of women, and you're already giving me so much. No, don't worry about it, 𝒮𝓗𝒄𝒄. These are the best kind of interruptions to have. I'm just... Oh, my heart is pounding. That's what it is. Oh, Lord. Thank you. Yes, hydrate. In the stretch. Yes, 𝒮𝓗𝒄𝒄, are you part of the Women Council trying to stop me from spreading the secrets of understanding the cryptid gender? Mayhaps. It's alright, Weeby, don't worry, I'm Alright. One of the most common things in women's speech that you will see is the use of expressions of uncertainty. These are also often known as disclaimers. So the examples of these would be like, I may be wrong, but, or this is just my opinion, but. Women are more likely to use these kind of things in a sentence as opposed to a man being. So an example would be a man would be more likely to say that car is blue, while a woman while a woman is more likely to say in my opinion that car is blue. Along with disclaimers, hedges are often used. And these are expressions like using sort of or kind of a singular woman. And another thing very often that even I do, that my model is apparently surprised at, is tag questions. These are short phrases at the end of declarative sentences. Declarative means it's a sentence that should end in a period, being that car is blue, period. A tag question is added to that declarative sentence in order to create this, that turns it into a question. That car is blue, isn't it? That is one of the most common things that women use. No, we're dissecting verbal language. Now that I have, so these are the main things. Disclaimers, saying things like, I may be wrong, or this is my opinion. Hedges being like, sort of, kind of, maybe, and tag sentences. This is fun, isn't it? The reason... It's Tuesday, isn't it? No, I'm getting to it, okay? Don't worry. the reason that this is common in women's language is because of the idea that women have less social power and movement in the social hierarchy, and therefore they have more of a, I hate using this word, quote unquote submissive way of speaking. Men are supposed to be the one, hey, I tried my best, okay? I thought it was a pretty good British accent. And that these are differences that are taught in the ways that we are growing up. Men are taught to be strong, assertive, so they speak in a more assertive tone of voice. That car is blue. There is no need for them to question whether that car is blue. They need to be strong, assertive, powerful men, and so then they speak with that tone of voice. Women are taught to be more modest, subdued, and in more traditional ways are taught to be submissive and subservient to men. Therefore, strong, assertive statements like, that car is blue, come off as too strong for a simple woman. Oh my god. I use whammon so much. Oh, okay. For a woman to be using. Oh, you're colorblind. I apologize. That kind of sucks. Also, fun fact, colorblindness is a disorder that affects almost entirely only men. A simple woman. I know, it's the entity. The conglomerate of all women. So, face, it's chill. The commonality, it does happen, yeah, it's just mostly in men. Especially the, what is it, the red-green one, I think? The red-green one, yes. But, so, and many, red-green is the most common, yeah. So, after bajillions of studies, overall, that they found that women do use this more tentative speech, but that the general differences are small. But what you will notice in what I go through is that all of these are relatively small things that continuously stack up. And yes, Horizon, I imagine Christmas time is very annoying. Okay, blah, 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 blah. But color's hard. Another main reason that men tend to... Oh yes, there's a command called !distracted. If you ever find that I get distracted, please feel free to use that. But another important perspective is that the differences in the way that men and women speak isn't just because of men's power over women, alright? That's not the only reason that women tend to have a more tentative speech. But it's also that each gender is taught to prioritize different goals in the way that they communicate, you know? These different goals are rooted in gender roles, but are not specific to men just wanting to dominate women and, you know, wanting to control how they speak. For example, females, the female role is tended to emphasize, like, nurturing and supporting, like, relationships. You know, the whole motherly thing. Whereas the male role emphasizes, you know, direct, simple communication. So these roles require that women have language that is more deemed at, you know, maintaining a social balance, while the way men speak is more aimed at direct, simple, easy communication. So, women try to show support or empathy by matching or mirroring or mirroring experiences, saying things like, "I understand. I felt that too. I've been there before." This is a common thing that women do when they are trying to show empathy and solidarity with something that someone is going through. Whereas men try to display their knowledge and avoid disclosing personal information, because showing vulnerability can be seen as a bad thing. So, an example would be, let's say, you just, had a huge fight with your friend, alright? If you went to a girlfriend, these are just generalizations. This is not, specifically, like, you guys. This is just done on the majority of, like, the English-speaking population. So, there will be differences. This is just on average. No, it just means that, you don't fit within these specific genders. Oh! We are popular. Dude, it's Doom! Thank you so much! And howdy, Seth. Aren't you supposed to be sleeping? I said at the beginning of the stream, all of this is taught. None of this is innate. And Suicidal Doorbell, thank you so much, for the follow. Are you named after the Suicidal Doorbell meme? If so, good meme. 10 out of 10. And we're doing good! We are learning the secrets of women. I am divulging. Yes, good. It's a good meme. It's a good meme. It's a funny meme. I am divulging the secrets of how to talk to and understand women. The Women's Council has continuously tried to throw, roadblocks in my way of divulging the secrets, but I shan't be kept silent any longer. Oof. But what we were saying, the example is that you just had a huge fight with your friend. If you went and talked to a girl, they would be more likely to immediately, this is not saying not at all, but to immediately be like, "Oh my gosh, I totally understand where you're coming from. I've been in that situation too. I'm so sorry." Alright, as long as you're going back to sleep, Seth. While if you went to one of your guy friends, they're more likely to be immediately asked, "What happened? This is what I did when I got in a fight with my friend." So, the way that men and women are taught to go about problem solving also is that the woman, or not the woman, women are encouraged to lean on the emotional side of relationships, while men in their form of communication are more leaning to direct, simple, and logical conclusions. Now, the thing is, you need a little bit of both. This is just the, which way that they normally go. Oh god, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, that's French, isn't it? Bonne fleur? I can say fleur. And howdy, Malgor! Yes, men are men are efficient. But like I said, women are taught to prioritize communication in the form of maintain. That was nice, thank you. I'm not very good at French, but I try. Are taught to be, you know, caring, empathetic, and therefore the way that they communicate is more focused on nurturing and maintaining friendships. While when men are communicating, most often it's about just getting the point across in the most simple and direct manner. Now, these both have problems. If there's a fire going on and someone's on fire, you don't want to, like, go to a woman for help and she'd be like, face, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That must hurt so badly. I totally know what that feels like. No, that's not something you want. You want them to be like, holy shit, you're on fire. I'ma call 911. Stop, drop, and roll. But, so sometimes the direct, simple way of communicating is better. But in our ever-increasing, socially connected world, more and more often the importance of understanding empathetic communication is growing in importance. So sometimes when, you know, your friend is depressed, instead of being like, oh, instead of just being like, oh, that sucks, maybe work out, that should help. It is better to approach from a more empathetic point, being like, oh, I'm so sorry, I've felt that way before, it's not a good thing, like, is there anything I can do to help? That kind of thing. So, I tend to find myself rambling, but the main thing is women and men have two different goals when it comes to communication. And that's why they speak so differently. Now, I turned the page. Another fun thing that is a personal pet peeve of mine also is there is a stereotype or the idea that men, yes. Well, yeah, the idea is that men and women are two sides of the same coin. And I'm simplifying this. Non-binary people are obviously included in this. But it's often epitomized in the left versus right brain, even though that's not actually a thing. Yes, you've invented alchemy. You've created a homunculi. I can speak words. But there is the issue of interruptions in sentences. And as some of you may have heard before or known in passing, men are more likely to interrupt than women, and men are more likely to interrupt women than they are when they are talking to another man. However, there is a nuance to this, because the famous study that found out that men do indeed interrupt women more didn't take into account the interpretations of what the interruptions are, because there are actually different types of interruptions. There are what is called support or agreement interruptions. That's saying things like, or yeah, definitely, totally. That technically counts as an interruption, as you are interjecting when someone else is speaking. But in everyday conversation, most people don't think of that as like a rude interruption, you know? You're showing agreement, understanding that you're following along. The other type of interruptions are to express disagreement and to change the subject. Those are the kinds of interruptions that express dominance, and were the ones that the study was mainly focused on. So that main study, like I was saying, didn't explore the nuance. So actually, men do still interrupt women more often, but it's not as big of a issue as it was first portrayed to be in that original study. And women in particular actually engage in a lot of supportive interruptions, especially when they're in an all-female group. And the study also, didn't say anything about the patterns of female interruptions. So, while yes, if a woman ever complains about, oh, men are always interrupting women, you can actually say, actually, that study didn't look at the nuances of interruptions, and men interrupt women far less than you would think they do. Oh? And please, if you have disagreements or you want me to extrapolate on something or you want to discuss something, please let me know. I am not opposed to, you know, talking with your understanding and how hearing about these kind of things might make you feel. Because I understand sometimes as a guy, learning about the psychology of women can be kind of uncomfortable when it points to issues with the society. With the actually. Just don't interrupt them when you say actually, because then that would probably be counterintuitive to the point. And of course, if any of you are interested in the studies that I am using, and that my textbook is using to prove these points, please feel free to let me know, and I can drop you the sources if you would like to check them out. So, in reality, many of the gender differences in the way that we verbally communicate are actually really small and are kind of unimpressive. However, the issue, just like, huh, yeah, that makes sense. You don't need to know how to feel right now. You can just, sometimes you just gotta mull over the information that you are fed. And if people are super interested, I could also tell you the textbook that I am using. It's a very interesting read. So even though that the verbal differences are pretty small, it's the clustering. It's what? Am I okay? Am I okay? My computer just froze. Am I alive? Lord Almighty, don't do this to me. Please let me just talk about the whammon. I'm alive? Okay. Okay, phew. Okay. So. Okay, just a weird moment. That's fine. So, while many features of the way that we verbally communicate actually show very small gender differences, it's the clustering, the gathering of these features that matter. That is, there are feminine and masculine patterns of speech, each with multiple features that show subtle differences on their own, but in combination are perceived distinctly gendered. I will drop the textbook. Alright, that is the textbook I'm using, Psychology of Women and Gender, the 9th edition, by Nicole M. Hulsquist and Janet Shively-Hyde. Fix my body. There was a really good example to explain these kind of differences. I wonder if I can find that exact. Where is that? began to carry out a discussion, assuming they are that gender, regardless of what they are. It also shows that gendered patterns depend heavily on context. Because, so you're like catfishing. If the profile picture says they're a girl and you're talking to them like they're a girl, and then you'll be talking to them a certain way. And then if all of a sudden they're like, yo, bruh, I'm actually a dude. The way that you speak to them, the tone that you use, your cadence, all of that is going to completely change. Because the way that we speak is gendered. Next. Maybe we should get to the Reddits. I mean, because I could just read you a bunch of stuff from this textbook, but I don't know if it would be as interesting. Though I will say one thing. Often I notice guys complain a lot about how women often put a lot of distance between themselves and men that they don't know. You know, we all have our personal bubble, but, excuse me, a lot of men often say that they're so much more uncomfortable, and that personal that personal bubble is often bigger when it comes to men. And while there are obvious reasons behind this, you know, fear, interestingly enough, proximity between, assumingly two heterosexual, man and woman, is often taken as a sexual advantage. So if a woman is putting a lot of space between you and her, she's probably face, can you not do that? Wanting to send you the wrong message. So it's not always because they're afraid of you. It's also because they don't want you to think that, you know, they're coming on to you. Okay. Yeah. The study even found that found that women feel more uncomfortable, you know, standing close to a man that they don't know than they do to a woman they don't know. And men feel more uncomfortable standing close to men they don't know than they do to a woman they don't know. So it's because physical proximity and, you know, being close together often is a sign of sexual interest, and two guys showing sexual interest to each other is often very taboo. So it's not just because we're afraid, guys, I swear, alright? Alright. Let me crack out my granola bar and let's get some Reddit on. Oh, no. Alrighty, rest well, Seth. Okay. Since we just talked about verbal communication, I think it would be funny to go over these things. Okay. Let me make this bigger. So, Apparently the first deadly term is fine. This is a word women use to end an argument when she knows she is right and you need to stop talking. Nothing means something and you should be worried. Go ahead. Do not confuse this with permission. It's a dare, and don't even think about it. Whatever. A woman's way of calling you an idiot. That's okay. She is thinking long and hard on how and when you will pay for your mistake. Wow! Bonus word. This is not a compliment. She is amazed that one person could be so clueless. Now, as we just talked about, the way that women communicate is focused heavily on maintaining social relationships. So, while it is true that women are often very passive-aggressive, the psychological, evolutionary effects that we have, that still remain, are often actually a lot more basic. One, it has to really do with just danger, really, is the theme of all of the remaining quote-unquote primitive mindsets are. It has to deal with danger. Gathering nuts and berries and that kind of shit would not be evolutionarily programmed into your brain. Of course you can, Weeby. That would be like, just because women used to sew for hundreds of years means every woman is born with the ability to know how to sew. Or that men used to hunt. That doesn't mean every man inherently just murders people. Or animals. That's a very incredibly small part of the population that does that. So the idea that women shoplift because they used to gather berries, if you're gonna say that, then you're gonna say that men continuously just go out and murder. And while it may feel like we see it a lot on the news, it's actually, like 3% of the population? It's not prevalent. Let's crop this bad boy a bit. Alright. Funny meme. Done. Ah, here's another. Women are incapable of logical thought. This ties into the left brain, right brain kind of shit. Also, is this? Okay, apparently this is part of my playlist. Excuse me, women by nature are emotional and feeling based in their thought processes. Thus, they're incapable of counteracting their impulses with logic. They sure as hell cannot compete against a man using logic. Apparently, a family court is a reason to do this. Also, women are hive-minded. We're bugs. We're bees. We all think the same. Now, let's tackle the first part. Okay. Women, quote-unquote, by nature, are emotional and feeling-based in their thought processes. This is not true. You want to know why it seems true? Because women are raised to base their thought process on emotions and feelings. Women are taught that you're an emotional being. Emotions is being nurturing and kind and empathetic is part of what it means to be a woman. And when you're raised, when a man is raised, feelings are not part of, you don't express emotions. That's not very manly. You use cold, hard logic and facts. So, women are conditioned from birth to think and primarily utilize their emotions and feelings, while men are conditioned from birth to suppress their emotions and feelings and using cold, hard logic. Hence why it seems women are more emotional, because it is more socially acceptable for women to express their emotions. Men are incredibly restricted on the emotions that they are allowed to express. And if they do express them, it somehow makes them less of a man, which is just fucking stupid. It's stupid. Whew. Anyways. Oh, yeah, hi, senpai. Welcome. Did you just get here? And the other thing, blah blah blah. They're incapable of using logic or whatever. They're not good at the smarts. Let me just clear my throat there. This is because of implicit stereotypes, and therefore stereotype threat. We've all heard the stereotype that girls are bad at math, right? We've all heard that. So, when a girl is raised, basically being told all her life, you're bad at math, and she does poorly on a math test, that not only reaffirms in society that the stereotype is true, but it reaffirms for the girl that, oh, I'm bad at math because I'm a girl. Guess I'll just never be good, and therefore it prevents them from trying further because it is seen as a moot point. While if a girl does do well in math, they are seen as an outlier, and their femininity is called into question. This is going to relate into why women have such struggle breaking into STEM research. You've never heard that stereotype? Never? Oh my god. I don't know what amazing society you lived in, but it's... Ooh. Very common. Oh yeah, no, I'm absolute shit at science. But what the point is that implicit stereotypes that are held by adults and youth discourage girls from studying math and science. And then when girls do not do well in science because they have studied it less, because they are discouraged from learning about it, that strengthens the stereotype. So it's kind of it's a cycle, you see? Girl is told she's bad at math. Girl does bad at math because she has been led to believe she is bad at math. Therefore, it reinforces the idea that girls are bad at math. Yes, there are many girls who are good at the math. It's just a stereotype that women are bad at math and science because they are too much of a logic-heavy field. This leads into, nicely... Where is it? Alright. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's small. Can this not get any bigger? Okay, that's a bit better. So, women struggle incredibly to break out into the fields of STEM. There's actually an entire section on it in, is everything okay outside? Y'all doing okay out there? I'm gonna pretend that it's fine. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. Where is it? Ah! 191. Ah, I was so close. So, just as a refresher, STEM refers to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So that's what we are talking about when we say the STEM field. Why is it getting dark now? Alright. So, this hilarious, yeah, the 1%. So this is a comment from a Facebook, I think. I'm so sorry that women are allowed to be interested in things other than STEM, and at the same time recognize that there's a gender disparity. There's a gender disparity because women are allowed to like other things. I'm sorry, you're joking, right? Are you saying that women shouldn't be allowed to like anything other than science and math and things that aren't feminine? If you're dong, if you don't want gender disparity, yep, you have to take away freedom of choices. So this is an interesting one because it's the opposite. Basically, either you commit your entire life to STEM, or just be a woman, or just be feminine. There's no in between. If you like science, that's all you can like. It has to be your reason for existing. So, the idea is that women can't have a casual, passive interest in science. Either it has to be, this is what they live for. Or, hey, then don't bother, just leave it to the big, strong men. Which then relates into this. A lot of females don't go into high-skill fields as they don't have the capacity to handle them. Oh no. When one does, it's pretty big, as it's harder for them to... This could be seen as a dick joke. Anyways, when one does, it's pretty big, as it's harder for them to handle these jobs than for men. Females usually work better in social-focused jobs that involve interaction with a group of people, or writing, while men work in hard labor and technically demanding areas. This is because of evolution, and is pretty rare when a female puts in a lot of her effort to do one of the tasks they weren't naturally designed for. I'm okay. I'm just dying slightly inside. As we previously discussed, all of our leftover psychological evolutionary traits are dealing with danger. Alright? Not what we were naturally designed for. The reason a lot of women don't go into high-skill fields is because of multiple things. One explanation, like this, is that women just lack interest and don't pursue it. It's not that they're facing discrimination or a chilly climate, it's just that they don't find them interesting. It's a matter of free choice. But the only thing is, there is a reason that the interest in these kind of subjects are so widespread. Why do you think men are so much more interested in this than women are? Is it because women are told that they shouldn't be interested in this? That this is a field for men? That they are discouraged highly from entering these kind of fields and therefore show less interest in it? And not only that, we portray... Wait, Face, can you not do that? We portray those who are in STEM fields in a certain way, and we portray those jobs to be more appealing to men than we do to women. Now, the idea that women can't do the math. The math is hard. Now, not only is that stupid, but in the United States, 46% of the undergraduates pursuing a math degree are women. So, weak math ability is not the explanation for why they're underrepresented in STEM. The most common thing is societal pressures and hostile work environments. Women continue to be discriminated against in these fields. Not, let me make this clear, not in crude and obvious ways that occurred in the past, which is old-fashioned sexism, but in more modern ways. Modern sexism. This includes implicit attitudes held by those in power. Modern sexism is based on the idea that you are not explicitly sexist. you don't hate women. You don't tell a woman that she can't do this job because she's a woman. But you are implicitly, which means you are not consciously aware that you are conducting or saying something sexist or racist or whatever. That's the difference between old-fashioned sexism and modern sexism, is that as we have made it socially unacceptable to be like, women are stupid. A woman can't be a doctor. Okay, so we've banned that, but now we have to unlearn that. And that's going to take a long time. Because so if your dad was the kind of guy who said, women can't be doctors, you've grown up with the idea women can't be doctors. But now it's modern day. Women can be doctors, and you understand that logically. But subconsciously, you were raised to think that women can't be doctors. And you have to unlearn all of that. And that goes for women too. There's a lot of modern sexism in women. I was raised being taught women can't be doctors. And though I know women are doctors, I automatically assume when I hear the word doctor, I think of a man. Because that's what I was raised to think. And now I have to unlearn all of that. And honestly, the only way to do that is with time and with generations. As we slowly chip away at the sexism present in society, the less we will be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? The less we will be able to influence the next generation with said sexism. Does this make sense? Does any of this make sense? Am I just talking and it doesn't make sense to people? The idea is that the people can say that, oh, women don't want to be in STEM because they're not smart enough. No, it's clearly not because they're not smart enough. Women have the same logical capacity as men. So if it's not that, then what's the next thing? Oh, well, women just aren't interested in it. Well then, why aren't women interested in it? Because they are being raised and taught and discouraged from being interested in it, as it is a heavily male-dominated field. This is also, there aren't a lot of role models that women can look up to aspire to, because women are discouraged from participating in that field. That's why having a female vice president is so important, because role models play an essential role in the way that we develop as children. Role models play a key figure because if we are able to see and recognize that someone else that we identify with is able to do something, and we have a physical, concrete example, it is easier for us to logically understand that that is capable, rather than in the abstract that, oh yeah, a woman could be a president, sure. But it's a lot more difficult to believe that without an actual example existing. It just remains as a hypothetical. And, I mean, it's more of a side note. Also, especially in STEM, and in fields like this, and in whoa, wow. yes, it's similar to that. I would say is that but it's not just the boss. It can also be employees. So you don't have to be getting worse shifts and worse, you know, tasks, but you could be constantly put down, excluded by your coworkers, or even your subordinates, to create this hostile environment where you feel like you do not belong. And belonging is very important, especially if you want to have a what is the word I'm looking for? Sure, we'll just do efficient working environment. The last thing before we move on to the next meme is that a lot of the fields in STEM are depicted as being geniuses, you know? We think of like math geniuses and science geniuses. Can you... So we can think of a bunch of male geniuses, you know? Stephen Hawking, Einstein, Isaac Newton. Can you name me a single female genius? I'll wait. Because the answer is no. Because there are none. Because geniuses is a strictly male phenomenon. Women aren't labeled but Marie Curie isn't called a genius. I've never heard anyone say Marie Curie was a genius. The idea is that yeah, but radioactivity wouldn't be important if it wasn't for Isaac Newton, or insert fucking face. Can you stop doing that? Or insert scientist here. Oh, all the textbooks I saw was like, yeah, she was a scientist. She discovered, you know, DNA and stuff. Now, here is what the next major scientific development was created by a man, and you're gonna read 3 pages about it. And not only is this, but this this negative idea of genius not only affects women, because women are stereotyped as not being brilliant, you know, being a little dumb, but it also heavily affects African Americans, because they are not allowed to, they are often also stereotyped as being dumber. Marie Curie? But how does dying by it? Is that part of the genius myth? Having her thing kill her? But the idea behind this is that this brilliance is required kind of genius effect reduces the ability of women being represented in the field, because it discourages them, one, from entering it because they are believed that they cannot be as brilliant or as bright as their male counterparts, and that people in power in the field may not encourage or recognize aspiring women students, because they believe that women don't necessarily have this ability to be brilliant. So the idea is that all of these things culminate together. The the genius belief, the lack of role models, the hostile work environments are all things that culminate together to create this lack of representation in the STEM fields. So, if you haven't noticed, the running theme is that nothing is ever just caused really by one thing. Psychology and sociology are heavily linked together, where the reasons that we act and think certain ways and believe certain things don't all have one, easy beginning point. Humans are incredibly complex. Oh my gosh, why do I keep burping? Are incredibly complex social beings. And therefore, we have a lot of things that influence and the way that we grow up, and the way that we think, and the way that we act. This is kind of, I think I was talking about it with Senpai. The issue is that today, in modern age, we've kind of mostly, put a little asterisk here, gotten rid of the really big, obvious, glaring problems, you know? Like, not being able to vote, or owning people. Now, our generation and future generations have to deal with the more complicated issues of our societies. Things that aren't easily solved, that require us to redefine age-old institutions, age-old definitions, norms. Things aren't as black and white and easy as they used to be. Problem, it was being like, hey, that's a problem, we gotta stop doing that, done, boom, wiped our hands, we're clean. But unfortunately, a lot of these issues, well, one, aren't gonna be fixed within you and with our lifetime, but don't have one simple direct cause. It's all of these little tiny things that pile on to create the way that not only that we speak, but the way that we act around each other, the way that we socialize together, etc., etc. Oh my god, my throat. I'm gonna take a hydrate. Oh. Thank you for making my hydrate legal. And thank you for the hydrate. I'm just gonna call you Fleur because that's the only one I can't pronounce. Oh my god, my chair. And a stretch. Oh, a stretch. Alright, what's a funny one that we can... Or do any of y'all have questions at this point? If not, I will continue to search for the lay funny memes. Unless y'all want to break from the big brain and just want to look at some and be like, ha, that's stupid. Because I can do that too. I don't want to overwhelm y'all by just continuously throwing my textbook at you. Why do women go to bathroom as a group? That is a great question, and unfortunately the answer is what you think it is. Because it provides safety. Even when you're not in a dangerous situation, women often stay together in groups. And they travel in groups. Because when women are alone, they are often preyed upon. So, God, I can't remember. I think I was maybe like 5. I was starting kindergarten, and we were already teaching the girls the buddy systems. The guys didn't have the buddy. I mean, the guys had the buddy system, but then when they went to 1st grade, they didn't need the buddy system anymore. But we still had to have it. But yeah, the main reason is because it's safety. It feels safer. If it's like a really, really big group, some will go with. And, you know, you might have another that stay back. But also, even if you don't need to go to the bathroom, another thing is it's always a chance to reapply makeup. No, unfortunately, there are no secret conversations happening. The women's bathroom is not a mystical, magical place. It's a bathroom. I mean, they're often nicer than men's bathroom, from what I've seen. Not that I've been in a lot of men's bathrooms. Nervous. But yeah. Though in my movie theater, up where I am, for some reason there is a candy machine in the women's bathroom. I don't know why, but hey, if you need to take a piss and you're really craving some Skittles, that bathroom has got you covered. Don't you worry. What, you never need to piss and want some Skittles at the same time? What about some sweet, God, what are they? Sweet tarts? There's some sweet tarts? That's, honest to God, I don't know who thought of that. Well, like, what do you even need in a bathroom vending machine? The only reason that there are bathroom vending machines, in girls' bathrooms is for pads and tampons. Though I have heard that in some there's cologne? Or something? But, apparently the movie theater says, fuck you, you don't need pads or tampons, you need candy! Who knows, maybe they've been doing it right all along. Maybe they secretly have the answer. Oh yeah, well, my university had that too, yeah. Colleges have condoms everywhere. You could literally go into, like, the fucking dining hall and they'd be like, hey, you want a complimentary condom? Condiment. Which, I mean, hey, it's better to have too much than not enough, you know? Here's one that might be... It's a common myth, that women pull other women down, you know? If a woman comes into a company or industry with a similar job or skill set, that the women get extremely competitive and hostile for some reason, and often scorn that woman, and in turn, turns it into a massive competition. But you never see that with men, because there are never constant dick measuring contests with men. But it is a common stereotype that women are often very catty and fight a lot with other women if they think they pose a, I don't have hands, a quote-unquote threat to the other woman. I don't know, is this a common, have you guys heard this stereotypes? Y'all making me question. I mean, I know I was raised up in some backwater place, but like, maybe these aren't as prevalent as I thought. But the idea, excuse me, the idea behind this existing, yes, this is, something that you often see either in real life or portrayed in media. Women tearing other women down, you know? Why do this? Women... Oh, Jesus Christ, I moved myself. Excuse me. Why don't you guys stick together? Why do you guys constantly compete against each other? And there are multiple reasons behind this. First up, and I don't know why I can't speak all of a sudden. First and foremost, and the most common one, is similar to the other things, and is a self-perpetuating cycle. We are taught and raised that women are catty, that we fight each other, that we're competitive and hostile, and so we are raised with that mindset, and therefore we perpetuate that cycle by acting that way. Another reason that it's incredibly common is women are constantly taught to compare themselves to other women. From birth, basically, as a woman, you are told by product companies that you are not good enough. You're too fat, you're too wrinkly, you're too tall, you're too small, you're too... everything. But if you buy our magical product, you won't be that anymore, and then you'll get everything you wanted, and then you'll be the perfect girl. So being raised with this expectation and this feeling of an expectation of needing to be perfect, combining with constantly comparing ourselves to other people, is what creates this cycle. It's insecurity, and it's self-hatred being inflicted onto other women, and then that just further perpetuates the cycle. But yeah, that's why women often do that. Especially if they're, you know, this is assuming that you're in the adult working force. If they're younger women compared to older women, it's just, when you see or around another woman often, as a woman, the first thing when you see another woman, isn't looking at her face, isn't, you know, listening to what she's saying. It's, what does she have that I don't? You know? Looking at her and being like, oh wow, she's so much prettier than me. Her boobs are so much bigger than mine. Oh, her outfit is so much cuter than mine. Her makeup is greater than mine. Her purse is better than mine. Her shoes are better than mine. And immediately that makes you feel insecure and not good enough and jealous. Jealousy is a very bad and very toxic emotion that feeds on a lot of women, because we are held up to these impossible standards, and when we see someone who we think meets those standards, not completely realizing that they are probably looking at us and being like, oh wow, she has blank and I don't, and she has this and I don't. is we're constantly trying to reach this ideal, and it feels like the only way to do that is by taking, if that makes sense. I don't know if that would make sense. Basically, new girl comes into established workforce. New girl has skills that you don't. New girl has prettier hair. New girl is younger. New girl has bigger boobs. Every time you see that new girl, unfortunately, the first thought through your head every time you see them is going to be, she has what I don't. She has something that I don't. You're going to see her walking down the hall. She's going to lunch. She's not doing anything. And you're like, damn. I'm trying not to objectify. Damn, her hair looks great. I wish my hair looked like that. The immediate reaction of women seeing another woman is to immediately compare themselves. And then you'll have the other thought, being like, oh man, her hair looks so good. It's so much better than mine. I wonder what she's having for lunch. Maybe I should go sit with her. Yeah, but like I said, it's not only being raised with this insecurity and this perfect image, but also being raised with this stereotype that women are catty and that we do this. So that is, instead of, you know, getting together or talking about this issue, is we fall into that stereotype because it's what we're quote unquote supposed to do. And it just continues and continues and continues. It's a yeah. It's rough. It's rough, buddy. But I do have to laugh that, you know, you never see this kind of competition with men when literally all wars in the entirety of history have just been men having dick measuring contests. But yeah, no, men never do that. But yeah, a lot of the infighting between women is fueled by self-loathing and insecurity. And it doesn't help that the stereotype to also reach high position jobs, you know, like CEO or business executive, is already filled with the idea of, you know, you gotta be cutthroat. You know? You gotta just go for what you want, not worry about other people. Did you just make a pun, Floor? I mean, would that be a play on words? Shit. But yeah. Oh, that's me. Excuse me. I'm back. Yeah, that sums it up. As in, a zero sum plus a positive sum would equal a positive sum, because zero, never mind. Alright, here's gonna be a fun one. And a bit more, positive. Oh my god, how to know if she's, like, flirting with you. Alright. I don't know if you guys are ready for this. What are the secrets of female flirtation? Half of these, some of these are just really bad, but there are a few ones that are actually grains of truth. But mainly this is going to be dispelling stupid ass things. Okay. First and foremost, eye contact. Yeah, these are sometimes so ridiculous. Alright, eye contact. At least they started off right. Eye contact is very, very important in establishing relationships. Extensive... Oh, and excuse me, I broke my fucking neck. Snap. If you stared at a person for longer than 5 seconds, unbreaking eye contact, most people are going to assume either you want to fuck them or you want to kill them. Intense eye contact expresses intense emotion. So, eye contact is important. I'm not even joking. We had to do that in my psych class. Just stare into each other's eyes for 5 seconds. It was the most uncomfortable thing I have ever done. It was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. Oh god. But yes, frequent eye contact is a sign to look for, whether you're going for guys or girls also, because eye contact is very important. So one, if you find them constantly, you know, looking at you, no, but don't be creepy about the eye contact, right? You know, staring, that's not a, don't do that, please. But if you find that a woman's often looking at you and looking away, or if your eyes do meet, you do, like, I'm assuming, like, you're across, like, the bar or whatever, and you guys make eye contact, and she does not immediately break it, that's also a pretty good sign that, not that she's gonna fuck you, but that she's interested. Whether it's interested in talking to you or getting with you, that's to be seen. But eye contact is very important. So again, if she constantly, you find her looking at you, and if you do make eye contact, and she holds it pretty reliably, because, you know, sometimes you accidentally make eye contact with a person, you're like, oh shit, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But if she's holding it, then she's confident, and she's interested. Alright. Next one. She will try to get your attention by parading back and forth until you've noticed her. This is stupid as fucking... What? Women don't just get up and decide, like, oh my god, I'm gonna, like, walk by to get a paper towel that's next to him, and then walk back to my seat, and then be like, oh, oops, I need another paper towel. No. Women aren't going to parade back and forth to try and get your attention. God, can my neck stop breaking? For like 5 seconds. Excuse me. What is much more likely is, instead of trying to get your attention by coming back and forth, she is going to draw your attention. Does it go? No. Okay. But she'll try to draw your attention in things like, number 3, flirty lips, is that, when a woman is interested, they often try to draw attention to their, what is often seen as very, like, you know, sexual, attractive parts. So, whether this is their lips, you know, biting their lip, using their straw, twirling with their hair, or, God, what was the other one? Playing with a necklace. But playing with a necklace can be also a nervous response, so be careful with that one. But drawing attention to the lips, twirling their hair, playing with a necklace, trying to draw attention to the thighs or the legs. These are body signals that she might be interested. Now, these are all assuming that this is a girl who knows what she wants. So some girls, like for me, I twirl my hair not because I'm trying to draw attention. I do it when I'm alone in my room. I'm very fidgety, and so I have a lot of I need to keep my hands busy. So playing with my necklace or twirling my hair isn't going to be signs that I'm interested in someone. So you can't just take one of these and be like, okay, she sucked on her straw for 3 seconds longer than necessary. That means she wants to date me. She wants to get with me. It's looking for a combination of these signs. None of these are a 100% go for it unless she literally approaches you and says, hey, you want to get together? Yeah, number 4, corners you. If this is happening, please be careful. If a woman just randomly corners you, she might kill you. I don't know. Women don't randomly corner men. If anything, it's the opposite. I can't see a situation where a woman, unless he's literally the only guy in a room filled with other women, feeling comfortable enough to just corner some dude. Like, if a woman is stalking you and corners you and gets you alone, call 911. But if she says, I'm like, oh, can we, if she have RR energy, like, oh, if you're at a big party, and being like, hey, let's go to a more quiet area, then she might just want to actually talk with you. But if she's, like, legit cornering you, like, 𝒮𝓊𝒷𝓈𝒸𝓃𝒃, you might wanna run. Imitation. Now, this may seem stupid, but this is actually real. Imitating another person's body movements or body posture or you know, body movements is an innate way of displaying that you enjoy them. You will find friends do this often. I had to take a body language course, so if you notice that, like, the other person is mimicking or mirroring your movements, this is a good sign. It doesn't mean she's gonna date you, but that means she's interested and that she is engaged with what you are talking about, or she is enjoying hanging out with you and enjoys your company and she likes you. This is something that we often do very subconsciously. So this is a very a good thing to look for, but it doesn't mean that she wants to date you. It just means that she enjoys being with you. She's having a good time. She feels like that you are similar and that she can relate with you. Hair play. Oh, okay, they do talk about messing with your hair. Touching. Yes, this can, yeah. So, playful touches, you know, touching on, like, your shoulder or your arm or your back or your leg is usually a pretty good forward way of, signaling that someone is interested in you. Unless you notice that they do this with a lot of people. Some girls are just incredibly touchy-feely. Some girls just do a lot of physical contact naturally, and it doesn't mean anything special. But I would say, for the most part, if consistent, you know, casual touches is a pretty good indicator that that someone likes you. First approach. Obviously, if she approaches you and says, hey, wanna get together, then yeah. But if she just, like, straight up approaches you and just says hello, she just might be really confident and just might want to talk. It doesn't mean she necessarily wants to get with you. Awing and oohing. She says ah and oh after you do or say something she thinks you're cute. No. This is not a thing. We women, I also from personal experience, will do that instead of saying something because we don't know what to say. We don't know how to reply. Yeah, exactly. It's just a way to often express acknowledgement, agreement, like the interruptions we said before, or they literally would be like, a guy can talk like 20 minutes straight about his fuel pump ejector 29,000 GMX car, and a girl just being like, ooh, that doesn't mean she likes you. Either she's most likely completely fucking lost, or she finds it interesting. Yes, it's active listening. It does not mean anything. It means she's paying attention. Congrats. Also, laughing at what you say. This can be a hit or miss. But yes, if you notice that she laughs at even, like, the silliest or the stupidest, she laughs at your worst joke, she might be trying to flirt with you. Yes, if she's laughing and you aren't funny, that's probably a good sign. But if you're just like, yo, I got this bomb joke, and you lay the bomb joke on them, and they laugh, no. But if you tell, like, a really shitty joke, like, what do you call a pencil without a, fuck, what is it? What do you call a pencil without, I think without a head? Pointless. If you tell that joke and they laugh, they probably like you. If you tell that joke and anyone laughs. Next, a cry for help. She'll ask for any sort of assistance from you. This way she'll be indulging your psychological need to feel like a hero. What? 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 No. 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 If she is asking for your help, it's probably because she needs your help. If she's asking for your help a lot, she might be taking advantage of you and your kindness. If there's no, like, reciprocity. But yeah, just asking for help, just, no, it's not. This is under the fallacy of, like, the damsel in distress. That she's like, oh, I can't bear it. Please, won't someone lift this incredibly heavy box for me? I am simply too weak and frail to do so. Yeah, that doesn't happen. But that's the kind of, stereotype it's going for. But no, no. We're not in the 40s and 20s anymore. Not being like, I will save you, my lady. Here, let me carry this for you. Oh, you've saved me, thank you. Like, yeah, no, she's like, hey, look, I have some really heavy moving boxes, that I don't think I could lift. Could I borrow you for a second? You could bring them inside for me? I'd really appreciate that. She's just asking for your help, bro. She's not expecting you to fly in dressed up like Superman and carry her boxes inside for her. She's just asking for your help. But also it is important to know, hello, excuse me? The fuck? Guys, I've died. Where did I go? Help. Guys? I'm scared. I don't know where I am. Help me! Guys? I've died. That's pretty unpog to die. Hello? I return! I'm big. I'm very big. Fear not, Chad, I have returned. What happened to me, I have no idea. But it's okay. I am here. Alright, and lastly was closeness. She's out of her safe zone and remains close to you during a conversation. However, be cautious. This might not be flirting when in crowded or noisy places. Yes. If you're at a wild party and she's getting up close to you, it's probably because she can't hear. But it's also important to know that women often have a smaller personal bubble than men do around their friends. Let me specify that again. Women often have a smaller personal bubble when around their friends. Random person, women often have a bigger personal bubble. But women often sit very close to each other. They often lean towards each other and are often sit closer to one another. Physical contact is also, if you're gay and you're hoping to pick up girls with these, I'm sorry, it's not gonna work. We're useless. This is useless. Because a girl will do this with a friend all of the time. I know the pain, it's okay. But never fear, guys. But yes, extreme closeness, always close to you. If she's snuggling against you, probably likes you a bit. But again, if it's a busy area, it's probably just because she can't hear you. Alright, the rest are flirting facts. No one... Okay. Alrighty. Oh my god, we've been live for 2 hours. Are there any other questions or topics y'all would be interested in? Yes, Weeby. What is your question? I would say so. Most of the women's bathrooms that I've been have been relatively clean. I don't know if that's just me, where I am growing up, but, I've heard horror stories about how disgusting men's bathrooms are, and I can't even fathom that in girls' bathrooms. I mean, they're not, like, they're great, but they're not, like, shit smeared everywhere. That you know of. Unfortunately, not a lot has been studied, in regards to flirtation in texting. However, earlier we did find out that women often use more emoticons, but men use a wider variety of emoticons. But text is the thing with online or text communication is figuring that kind of stuff out is incredibly difficult. Because text is probably the most removed form of contact possible. 60% of like conversation is done in body language. All right? Another 20% is from tone of voice. And then wait, how can I add? No, okay, so it was body language is 70%, tone of voice is 20%, and 10% is the actual words that you choose. We mostly communicate non-verbally by looking at body language, facial expressions, things like that. That's the main way that we communicate. And texting removes absolutely all of that and only leaves you with the words that you choose. Now, emojis are sometimes used to express the facial expression that the person is texting with. But honest to God, Lord knows I've done it. You're just gonna drive yourself crazy trying to think, being like, oh, did they mean this? Or did they mean that? Or why did they choose this word? You're gonna drive yourself crazy. You gotta just shoot your shot, or else you're gonna spend all of your time over-analyzing everything that they say. Oof. Only one catastrophe in the ladies? The worst thing I've seen happen is the toilets get clogged up because some lady fucking dumped her tampon in it. But yes, unfortunately, text and chat is literally the most difficult form of communication in order to understand someone's feelings as possible. It is literally, like, you should never break up, deliver bad news, probably apologize, talk about any sort of serious subject, via text, unless it's, there's literally no other choice. Because it's so easy to misunderstand each other via text. It's rough. Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't really help you there. Anything else y'all have? Alright, well, if y'all have any more questions, now is the time to pop in any last minute questions before I wrap it up here. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Oh yeah, no, the phrase "we need to talk" always sends like a cold chill down my spine. And especially like my mom once texted me that and I was like, oh, I'm gonna die. Oh god. And I hate it because she would say like, we need to talk, but it's nothing serious. No, the phrase "we need to talk" I hear myself. Like a cold chill. Go away, me. I don't want to hear me. I'm like, Mom, if this is not something serious, please just say like, hey, if you have a sec, when you have a sec, can we talk about something? Or if like I'm texting that to someone, I'm like, hey, it's nothing to worry about. I just wanted to ask you about something. Because we need to talk. I'm like, oh god. Alrighty though, I think we can wrap it up here. My throat is getting parched. And apparently I got like 2 hours before I pop back on. That's crazy. No, thank y'all for coming. Oh, okay. It was nice to do a Therapy Thursday again. It's just coming up with the topics can be somewhat difficult, and it requires a lot of research and planning to get ready. But then usually we probably end up derailed and talking about something else, because God knows I have a squirrel brain. But yeah, thank y'all so much for coming. It was really good to do this again. I really enjoyed it. Thank you, 𝒮𝓃𝒃𝓃𝒃, for like what, 10 gift subs? Oh, Flubbin, thank you for the hydrate. But seriously, 𝒮𝓃𝒃𝓃𝒃, thank you so much for all of the gift subs and the bits. Yeah, and the bits. I don't know what I did to deserve all of this, but... And, of course, thank you, Doom, for the raid. Y'all are too nice to me. But... just in case you haven't gotten enough of me for some reason, I will be back at 6 p.m. PST with a Responsible Minecraft stream. Aww. No you, wait, no you, 𝒮𝓃𝒃𝓃. No use. He is? Am I not following Axel? Oh my god, he is live. Wait, is he? No, he's not live. Yeah, plus he's not live. Yeah, it just ended. But yeah, oh right, I forgot, we don't really, we don't raid on Therapy Thursdays. A therapy raid would be kind of difficult to explain. Oh, but I have 14 viewers. I feel like I spread the love. What do y'all think? Do y'all have any... Damn, the one time. Weeby, do you got anyone? Shut up, senpai. I mean, she has like 46 people. I'm but a small. Okay, who do you have, Weeby? Drop it on me, master of VTubers. Give me a small broski to help out. Okay. So we have them, or ring. Holy shit! I didn't know.
Survival
It sort of got so many people.
Have a tsundere in your life? Need help dealing with one?
Oh yeah, Soup is on. Alright, we'll do... Wait! Rowan just came on. Is that what we're gonna do? Just immediately starts flood into his chat. What's he doing? God damn it, he's on his starting soon screen. Start sooner, faster. He's been on for 1 minute. We'll raid Rowan. Unless his viewer count goes up a bunch. So what are y'all having for dinner? If you haven't already had dinner. I have to figure out what I'm gonna eat for dinner. I could do, let's see, I had a chicken pot pie last night. So I could do like a oven pizza. But I had that like earlier this week. But it's DiGiorno, so it's good. But like at the same time, it's like did have a sandwich though. Sandwich. Could have soup, I guess. Does soup count as a dinner? Can soup be a dinner? I remember I don't remember who, I was talking with someone and I'm like, oh yeah, I had soup for dinner. And they were like, soup isn't a dinner. Soup isn't enough to qualify as a dinner. Maybe I'm gonna smack you if you had water for breakfast. No, but like just soup. Nothing else. You just have soup. and non-kinky smack. Alright. Well, Rowan has popped up. His viewer count has popped up, and I am impatient. So we're gonna raid 𝒮𝓊𝒷𝓾𝒾𝒷𝑒. Oh, hi Shorta! I haven't really played much. I haven't had the chance to play much this week. But I can hop on before stream time and see if there are any issues and talk with you. Yeah, I'm just... Weeby, you're making me feel like I'm doing something wrong. I just feel like I should, you know, send people to people. You know, like it's a nice thing to do. Anyways, oh my god. Thank y'all so much. I had a great time. It's been forever since I did a Therapy Thursday. And I'm glad y'all were here with me to experience it again. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. I will be back at 6 p.m. PST for some Minecraft with Senpai. And if I don't see y'all then, I hope you have an amazing morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever it is where y'all are. Alright. We pop down the raid message. And I will see y'all next time. We ride to war. Yeehaw!